Welcome to the Murali End. My name is Mark Machado, and I'm joined, as always, by Nick Brookes, doyen of Sri Lankan cricket. We are at Lords. I can't show you the pitch. It is behind the laptop because we don't have rights to it, and we probably never will because we're a small, struggling podcast.
We never will.
Firstly, thank you for listening. Thank you for following. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow page. You can also find us on SriLankaSports.com. As well, our new partners. Yeah, do you see that? Yeah. It probably looks better not to show my face. Also, two other little bits of business I've got to tell you guys about. Firstly, if you come to the Three Falcons, thanks for coming along already. We've had 2 great nights there. Yesterday was absolutely popping off. I got home at 2:30 in the morning. I am quite hungover. And we'll save all the Three Falcons shenanigans for once the test is done.
Yeah.
Because we're here to talk about cricket. We're very serious people. And the other bit of business is you got to join the WhatsApp group as well. We'll put a link in the description if it's not there already. Maybe somebody who's watching this who has access to it could put the link in. I don't know. But we'll get the link in the description. I'm posting updates all through the day from the home of cricket. And we're going forward, that's going to be the first place that we update before anything else. As soon as we get any news, we'll pump it out to you guys following it as well. Right, Nick, let's get into it. Yesterday was not a good day for Sri Lanka.
I think Sri Lanka's worst day of the series so far, right? We came into it with glimmers of optimism that if they could bowl in and out quickly and put some runs on the board, that they might be still alive in the test and alive in the series. And those hopes very quickly dissipated, right? I think they were a little bit sloppy with the ball first up. Thought it was a very strange decision not to bowl Asitha first thing in the morning. Lanka started, and then Asitha eventually came on and picked up all 3 wickets, including what I've got to say was my highlight of the day. Milan's amazing catch just down there in front of the grandstand, leaping through the air. If Ben Stokes had done it, I mean, we'd be seeing it a million times on the big screens, wouldn't we? But
yeah, I tweeted, I was like, get that on Sports Centre. That was like Player of the Day or something, isn't it?
That was a Player of the Day. It was fantastic. But then, I mean, yeah, you'd think Gus Atkinson batted really well, but I don't think enough pressure was put on him trying to get through to that 100. And I think by the time Sri Lanka came to bat with England, 427, you already thought that it was a tall order. And then losing Mudishka and Karunaratne before lunch, Pathum right after, the writing seemed to be on the wall. And I think the top 6 have to be really disappointed with how they batted.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was quite interesting, though, is they sent Kamindu to the press conference. Obviously, he's head and shoulders above everyone else in this series so far, from a Sri Lankan perspective, at least. They sent him to the press conference. He was quite... I thought it was quite interesting that he said they think they can win it if they could bowl England out for, 150?
151 to 175. I mean, we are hopeless optimists. And I think even both of us exchanged a look when Kamindu said we can still win the game. I mean, it's a lot cloudier today than it has been the last 2 days. If they can get a good start, Ollie Pope looked very skittish again last night. So, I mean, I think they'll hope if they can get England 40 for 3 that they've got a tiny foothold in the game with some rain predicted. But, I mean, look, this is a long way off. And I think the overwhelming probability is that we're heading to the Oval 2-0 down.
Yeah. Hoping for rain.
Hoping for rain. It's never a great place to be, is it, when you're playing cricket?
Hoping for rain. Hoping for maybe if they can find if they get some wickets early. I'm not saying that we can win this. I'm not as optimistic. I just think we just got to try and make sure that there's still something going on by the time we get to lunch, still something going on by the time we get to the end of play. And that if we can get back tomorrow, I kind of think in a way that's a mini victory. The longer we stay in it, the more chances there are of being a kind of positive result.
No, absolutely. I think at this stage it's about winning sessions, isn't it? If you can win this first session, win the second session, then at least you're making it a game. And I'm not sure we can hope for that much more than that. But I mean, just back to the fact that they sent Kamindu to the press conference, it felt like they were trying to find a positive gleam from what was a very negative day. And I thought actually someone from the top 6 needed to come to that press conference and kind of own that failure yesterday. I think it's a real indictment that Prabhat Jayasuriya and I think Lahira Kumara batted more balls than anyone in the top 6. And, Jayasuriya wants to hit everything. Kumara can hardly hold a bat. I mean, so for him to outlast, a player like Dimmock, I mean, it's not great, is it?
It's not. It's not good, guys. Thing is, I mean, what you have to remember, Sri Lankan cricket itself is a miracle, right? It's a miracle we have Test status. It's a miracle we're playing at Lords. It's a miracle we won multiple World Cups. We always find a way. And I kind of feel like I've got to come on every morning and do like a little pep talk for everyone. And I think today we just got to believe, right?
Yeah, I think
what's the point of being pessimistic? It's professional sport, but watching it as fans, there's nothing me or Nick can do, or you guys can do, or say right now that's gonna change anything.
No, we've got to hope for a miracle, really, don't we? Because I think the other thing to say is that these bowlers must be exhausted. They put in a lot of overs on the first day, then they had to come back and bowl the best part of a session yesterday, and now they're back in the field again today. And I mean, there are going to be some really tired bodies going into the Oval. So quick wickets are crucial, not just to keep Sri Lanka in the game, but I think to keep Asitha and Milan and Lahiri healthy. They don't want to be bowling all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you've got any questions for us, put them in the comments and we'll do our best to answer them. Jaya Kode has said, hello, guys. Hello, Jaya. Thanks for joining us. Should we talk a little bit about last night? Because 3 Falcons was absolutely popping off, and that was probably the highlight of my day. Not probably, it was the highlight of my day.
It was better than the cricket, wasn't it?
It was better than the cricket.
And I've got a horrible cold, as you can probably hear. And so I was sort of wanting to go straight home to bed, but was dragged to the 3 Falcons and had a wonderful time. I didn't want to leave in the end.
We had a great time. We were playing, classics by Desmond, the Gypsies, and all that, singing, dancing. Shots were had. And then a few people, myself included, ended up in the nightclub, which was a bad, terrible decision. But here we are now. I feel about as bad as probably the Sri Lankan batters do right now. It's the top order. There's Rahan's asked, how is the pitch right now? I can see it straight away. That I'd say the overwhelming factor in the morning session is going to be that it is very overcast. It looks to me like I can kind of, sometimes in London you can taste the rain a little bit, and it feels to me like it could rain.
It does seem like it's waiting to rain, and they do say at Lords, look up, not down, and that when there's cloud cover there will be movement. So that's promising. The pitch though looks flat, and again, I don't think that this was the kind of pitch where you should find yourselves 5 wickets down without many on the board, as Sri Lanka did. And I mean, I think they've got to look hard in the mirror after yesterday's performance. It was by far, I think, the worst session of cricket that we've seen in the series, worse even than that third morning at Old Trafford. What I want to put to everyone is we're a positive podcast. We don't like giving people out, but Nishan Madushka looked like he had a tough time at Old Trafford opening the batting. I can't understand for the life of me why anyone thought it was a good idea that he should keep wicket and then go straight out to open the batting after being 100 overs in the field.
Especially when you got Pathum there as well, who's an opener in every format. And
I mean, they've in every innings, right, they've been 2 down for nothing. So Angelo's been coming in the first 10 overs. So what's the difference between him batting 3 and 4 at this stage, apart from a number against his name? I think Nishan, whether he's got the quality to thrive as an opener in these conditions, I think is debatable. But Sri Lanka really aren't helping him by making him keep 100 overs and then bat straight after. I mean, the mental and physical fatigue that he must be feeling is, it's a lot.
It's tough. Ishan has asked, should Kamindu bowl? I think he's bowling just to get either shift the side the boat someone's bowling from, or to just see if he can do something in the first one in a couple of overs. He is not somebody who's going to take a lot of wickets in England.
No, I don't know why DDS isn't bowling instead of him. As we said yesterday, like DDS opened the bowling at Old Trafford when they came out for that little spell on the first evening. He can bowl quicker than Kamindu, I think.
I feel like every time we see him play, we always go, "Why isn't DDS bowling more?"
Yeah,
I think everyone kind of rates his bowling apart from maybe him, because obviously he's the captain, so he could just bring himself on whenever he wanted.
Also, I'd rather seen a couple of overs of Ange. We're going over old territory. Ange isn't fit enough to bowl, but I mean, he's done it in every T20 for the last however long. So why he could come on and bowl a couple of overs?
the imbalance in the team was just a lack of a seaming all-rounder, right? They need somebody else who can bowl a bit of seam. Thing is, I mean, when you play one test series in England every 8 years, it's probably not something you're like looking to invest or getting too caught up in, because in Asia you have, in this side, you have multiple kind of spinning all-rounders, right? So
yeah, and a lot of time at home they'll go with 2 quicks, right?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Vish from Cricket Info: while you can talk about gaining experience in county cricket, playing more warm-up matches and addressing financial difficulties, sometimes you really should know better. It's really interesting you brought this up, because me and Vish were talking about this probably as he was about to write his piece, actually, because I do think there's an element of, actually, Sri Lanka have been here a few weeks now. They've played a few games. There's very few test sides in the world that have as much test experience as this team does, particularly with the batting. I think that's been actually weirdly the most disappointing thing. We knew it was going to be a struggle for us to get 20 wickets in English conditions. If we were going to do anything in this series, we needed the batting to step up. And yeah, I agree with Vish on this. I don't think there's any amount of playing county cricket for months and months and months can explain or would change. There's not much more someone like Chandimal or Angelo Matthews can learn about batting, or Dimmoth can learn about batting, if they haven't done so already. Maybe you could argue they could be in better touch or whatever like that, but I think this is much for muchness. They need to just bat better and not give their wickets away in such brain dead fashions.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I agree, and I don't. I mean, the one thing that I would say is, like, how many red ball innings has Chandimal or Angelo had the chance to play over the past 6 months?
But I think it's roughly, though, what everyone else is. I know England are an exception, because they know England and Australia know they're going to play.
England, Australia, India out of it, everyone else is pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah.
And I think there might be technical frailties, but yesterday I thought was a mentality failing and a lack of application. Like, if Lahiru Kumara can come in about 40 balls, why can't anyone in the top 6 do that? I thought there was some pretty ugly dismissals there. Angelo and DDS, I think you'd say, got fairly decent balls from Matt Potts, but I think they both made them look better than they were. Yeah. It was a really disappointing day, and I do think that Sri Lanka didn't show the fight, didn't show the heart that you expect from them.
Day One Cricket is asking: Nissanka's had a great ODI record. You think he can translate that to test matches? Last 2 games for him, or is there something technical with him? Haven't watched in detail. Nissanka has only batted once in this test series. He's only came in to this team.
And nothing technical, I'd say there. From what we saw, he looked in great touch and then just turned one round the corner to leg gully. And again, it's another brain fade rather than anything else. Yeah,
it looked to me like he hadn't noticed that there was a fielder around.
I mean, and if so, that's just shocking, isn't it? It was straight after lunch. A lot of people were late coming back in and missed it.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what I think. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just that when he looked surprised that it got caught in that position.
But you've got to expect that there'll be a little readjustment period. I mean, he hasn't played a test in 2 years, hasn't played a huge amount of red ball cricket, and certainly not this kind of intensity of red ball cricket, isn't familiar with the conditions. So, I mean, as much as we all rate Pathum really highly and we're sort of hoping that he might come in and score runs straight away, it was always likely that it's going to take a bit of time to bed back into this side. So I would encourage patience with Pathum Nissanka.
Yeah. Me and Nick, I think me's probably more so than you, are almost evangelical about Pathum.
We love it.
Nissanka. And I really hope that he will get a chance to bat again, and if he can capitalise.
Well, I think he will get a chance to bat.
Yeah, he will get a chance to bat again. I mean, I don't want to say it much because I just want to sit on the honours board. Please, gods of cricket, let him have that. Let him score runs. I think John Norman's coming in, which means we've got to go. But thanks for listening. We've been the Murali, and hit the subscribe button. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Oh, hi guys.